everyone. It's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I'm so glad you guys could join me today. Yep, we're finishing up our masterclass on designer series paper, that pretty double-sided paper. We're going to end with a bang because I have got 3 amazing gift card holders for you. I love to give gift cards as gifts. And today we're going to do 3 different versions of the cards. I'm going to teach you all 3 of these. All 3 of these cards are very different. And I think you're going to really enjoy this really fun and trendy way to give gift cards. Are you ready to get started? We're going to head over to my stamping table and get to creating. So we're going to start with this one here. This is my Youre a Blessing card. Now, I do want to share the stamp set that I'm going to use on all of my cards today. We're going to use Little Delights. Look at this. We had a Merry Christmas, birthday wishes, you're such a blessing, a thank you. So I thought this one stamp set was going to be awesome to create all of our cards. Now, I'm going to give you all of the measurements as we go, but remember, you can find all of those in the YouTube description below. You'll see a link where you can go to see all the supplies. So let's start with this first Youre a Blessing card. So I have a piece of soft succulent cardstock, and this is cut 5.5 by 8.5. My scoring measurements are 1.25 inch and 4.25 inch. We're also going to need some very vanilla cardstock. I have 2 pieces here, 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. This piece is 1.5 inches by 3 inches, and that is for my sentiment on the front. I have some of the Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. Let's see, this piece here, 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then I have 2 pieces that are 1 inch by 5 1/4. The very last thing you're going to need is 24 inches of ribbon. Guys, I found that this pool party sheer ribbon looked gorgeous with that soft succulent because it kind of pulled in a little more of the greens. So it's kind of allowing me to get more use out of my pool party ribbon. All right, let's go ahead and get our stamping done. I have got a soft succulent ink pad, and we're going to take that fabulous Little Delight stamp set, and we have this wonderful little kind of leafy floral image. I'm going to stamp that right down here in the corner, and I then have a great thank you. We will stamp that right there at the top. Now for this piece here, we're going to say, you are such a blessing. And when you stamp that, go ahead and stay as far as you can to the left side because we're going to do a little punch technique here. And that is going to be done with the tailored tag punch. And we're going to be using this one on a couple of the other cards, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little creative. So I can see, I'm going to pull that out right there. Can you see? There's the end of my sentiment. We're just going to kind of pull that through, and I'm just going to line it up there in my punch. Can you see what that's about to do? Look at this. All of a sudden, I have a little flag punch, and I did it with my tailored tag punch, which means I can get more use out of that punch than just creating a tailored tag. Do you love it? I hope so. All right, there is that. And guys, I'm telling you, it's time to put this card together. They are just that easy. I'm going to use some mini glue dots, and I'm going to add those right here. You notice I just press the glue dot onto the cardstock. It's very easy that way. And I'm going to put these just on the end. This is that 1.25 inch section of my card base. And that is going to be the little pocket for, whoops, oh, I shouldn't have stuck that down yet. Oh my goodness, what was I thinking? Woo, leave it to Connie. We're going to add this vanilla piece of cardstock right here. Oh my goodness. I just got so excited to teach you how to do this that I didn't even realize. It's a good thing that little schmutz right there is not even going to show. Let me add another glue dot. All right, now we can seal that up. Now that's the pocket for my gift card. Now, of course, my thank you is going to go over here, but I'm going to leave this alone. So I want it to line up just like so. In fact, you know what? Let's make it easy. Sometimes easy just makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and add this 1 inch strip of the designer series paper. Let's go ahead and add that to this side, the right side of our card. All right, once we get that in there, that's going to make adding our sentiment much easier to line up. So we'll go ahead and just start with the designer series paper. And now I can see and add that right inside my card. Do you see how I have that little strip right there? Now, since we're adding the designer series paper, I am going to go ahead and add that other piece right there to the opposite side because that really does look nice. Now, obviously, our larger piece of designer series paper will go right there on the front. And when you're done, it's going to look like this. You can see I wrapped my ribbon around the card and tied it in a bow. I just added my You're Such a Blessing with adhesive, and there is my gift card. It just tucks right in. Very, very simple to do, right? And are you amazed how fast that one came together? Well, good. We're going to create another one that's nice and quick and fast. And this one is a Christmas card. So I have a piece of real red cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25 inches. I have two pieces of the gingerbread and peppermint designer series paper. By the way, this started out as a 6 by 6, and I've cut it down. So I have a piece here that is 4 by 5.25. I have a piece here that is 1.5 by 5.25. We are going to need some additional basic white cardstock. And let's see what we have here. I've got a piece that is 4 by 5.25, and then two pieces that are 2.75 by 5 inch. All right, now we're going to do some simple cutting. So I have the 5.25 inch side of my designer series paper at the top of my paper trimmer. All right, you notice my blade is down here at the bottom, and I have this set at the 2 5/8 inch mark. Now, if you're not familiar with that, that is in between 2.5 and 2.75. There's a line that goes right in between that, and that is your 2 5/8. And what we're going to do is we are going to cut, and we're going to go to about the 1.25 inch mark. Now I can see that here on my cutting blade, and there is a tick mark on my cutting blade, or I should have said there's a 1.25 inch mark here on the arm and a tick mark on my blade. And I'm just going to take it about to that 1.25 inch mark. If you go a little bit beyond, don't worry about it. It's fine because we're going to be covering up part of that with a ribbon. So if it goes a little bit over, you're all right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that designer series paper, and I'm just going to line it up like so here on the edge. Can you see? We're just going to give it a little fold just like that. Do you see now? We get to enjoy both sides of the paper. And now we will do that here on the other side. And that is all there is to it. Now, you remember those 2.75 inch pieces of the basic white cardstock? Go ahead and just adhere this to the front of our card right here. Now I can put my adhesive all along my designer series paper, and we're just going to add that to the front. These flaps, we can adhere those down as well. You know, gravity's not really working against us too much, so as long as we get that put down, this space right here, we are going to say Merry Christmas, and we will do that in our old olive ink, and we can simply say Merry Christmas. And while I've got that out, I'm also going to put a Merry Christmas on that larger piece of the basic white. I'm now going to add that to the inside of my card. So now I have a place to write my message, but let's create that gift card holder. So I'm going to take this remaining piece of the basic white, and it is a little bit shorter, and it's just really a cost-saving thing that I like to do. So that's going to go and line up on all three sides. Now we can add our gift card holder, and that's going to fit right here. Do you remember the trick I just shared with you with the glue dots? Well, we're kind of going to do that again, except we're going to have to add a few more glue dots. So I'm going to put the glue dots on the four ends, and you've seen me do it. I'm just pressing the glue dot onto the designer series paper. I need to add two more down here at the bottom. And by the way, with this paper, there's no right or wrong, which is top or bottom, but that's going to keep my gift card from falling out. So I'm going just right along that edge, so that when I add that now to the inside of my card, like so, and now I have a pocket for my gift card. I've got plenty of room here to write my message. And remember how I said it didn't matter if you went a little bit beyond that 1¼ inch mark? See what I mean? We're just adding a little gold glimmer bow, which kind of makes it look like a package. And yeah, all tied up with a bow and ready to say Merry Christmas. Hey, don't forget, you can find all the measurements for all three of my cards. If you look down in the YouTube description, you'll find a link that will take you to today's blog post. And hey, while you're there, if you fell in love with any of the stamps, you can order right there. Just click one of the supply list. You'll find everything you need and you can order straight from there. All right, let's do one more in this card. This is my birthday wishes card. This one's kind of fun. It's a little unique. So there's our card, and we have an extra card inside. It's just kind of fun. It's got a little bit more movement to it. And this one's a lot of fun. I saved the best for last. All right, and so to create this card, we're using Flirty Flamingo. That is cut 4¼ by 11 inches, scored at 5½. We're going to do a little cutting to this. So let me go ahead and show you the cutting we're going to do here. We're going to actually cut off 3¾ inch. So it's 3¾ by 4¼ So yeah, we just took off most of that card. Now with this piece that's left over, we're actually going to use it, and we're going to cut it down into two pieces that are 1¾ by 4¼ So I'm just going to verify before I do anything. That's my 4¼ So let's rotate it around, and we want to cut this down to 1¾ inch. And I just wanted to point out, you will have a little scrap left over. So be sure to cut both of those down to the 1¾ inch. So I'm going to be featuring on this card the host paper pack called Pattern Party. It is a 12 by 12 pack, but I'm going to be cutting it down to 6 by 6 so that I can use my paper wisely. So I loved this pattern. I thought it looked really great. Let's do some cutting. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my paper trimmer again. My paper trimmer is getting a workout today, isn't it? All right, we're going to cut this down to 4 by 6 inches. All right, so there's 2 inches by 6. Let's set that off to the side. Now, my 4 by 6, I want to cut into 3 pieces that are 1½ by 4. So there's my 4 inches. So let's rotate this around. So we want the 6 inches up at the top, and we're going to cut this into 3 pieces that are 1½ inches. Now remember this piece that we had left over. This was that 2 by 6. We're going to cut it down to 1½ inches. And after we cut that, we're then going to trim it to 5¼ so that'll fit really nicely on my card. So, all right, now we are going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and adhere down some of our designer series paper. So remember, we had 3 of these pieces. So this is that strip. I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to use this black and white polka dotted side on one of these. All right, that one is done. You remember our other 1¾ inch, and I have 2 of these pieces left over. So I'm going to take this one with the flower side up, because that is my favorite pattern. It's just so bright and cheerful. I'm going to add one of those to that piece, and then bring in our card, and we're going to add this one as a topper here. All right, before we put this together, I do want to finish sharing the measurements for what we needed for the card. So I've got a piece of basic white, and this one is going to measure 4 by 10½ and scored at 5¼ That's of course the inside of my card. And then I have a little fun little scrap 1 inch by 2½ inches, and that's going to be for my party hat. So let's go ahead and add this to our card, and this is going to go here inside. And let me show you. We're just going to center this up inside this 4¼ by 5½ inch area. See what we're doing? Okay, so there's that little flap up at the top. Okay, now we can get the fun going. So remember these two pieces. Here we go. This really is fun, I promise you. We're going to line this up here at the bottom. So it's just sitting there, right? Not adhering anything down. This is going to be the magic piece that's going to adhere everything together. So if you guys have watched me, this is one of my favorite tricks to know where to add adhesive. I'm just flipping it over. And again, I'm going to line up my pieces. And when I do that, I can see I need adhesive here and here, but I don't want to go beyond that. And this just kind of helps me see right where I need to put my adhesive, and that way I don't go over. And let me just kind of line up that one. Again, it's just a great visual. All right. All right, now it is time to adhere that piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I've got everything all lined up. Now I'm not too worried about that piece. It's not going anywhere. It's good. When I adhere this piece, I'm actually going to line it up with the edge of my cardstock. I'm just going to let just a little bit of that white peek out, but not too much because I want to do some stamping right here and I want to make sure I leave myself enough room. Now, before I give that a good press, if you guys have followed me, you always know, I always do this. I look to make sure I don't have any adhesive trying to peek through, and I don't. I'm good, I'm centered, I can give that a press. My card is coming together nicely. Let's do a little stamping, and I'm going to say birthday wishes, and I'm going to stamp that in the Memento Tuxedo Black. We're going to do a fun little tag for our card. So this stamp set has this sweet little party hat. I'm going to stamp it in real red right there. And you remember my trick, you know, that one that we did with the Taylor tag punch? We're going to do it again. So bringing it right in, get to where you can kind of see the end of it. I just eyeball it, center it up, and boom, like that, I've got myself a tag. We'll add that there at the end, but let's talk about this piece. So I'm going to use some more of that black and white polka dot, and I want it to tuck right inside so you don't see it until you flip this open. So we're going to add adhesive all over this, and I'm just going to kind of give myself a good visual there of where it needs to go. Again, my favorite tip is never press anything down till you check it and you're good and happy, and I am. Now we're going to take our last piece. You guys have already seen me do it. We're going to add our glue dots, two here, and two at the bottom. And once you have that adhered, our gift card can go right inside. I've got plenty of room to write my message. If you wanted to stamp birthday wishes one more time, you can do that. I'm one who struggles with what to say in a card, so I always like to leave my stamping, my sentiment kind of right in the middle so I don't have a lot of room to write anything else. So again, I just did that in more of the Memento Black. Let me go ahead and show you what I did here on the front. This would be the black and white baker's twine from the Playful Pets. Love this. And I just wrapped it around. By the way, I have 25 inches of that. I just wrapped it around, tied it in a bow, and then added that sweet little tag. It was so easy. Now, this is definitely a more over the top version, but let me go ahead and bring in my other cards because remember, this one went together super fast. Very, very easy to do. Then we had the Christmas version, which all we had to do was a simple cut, right? Just that one cut up the middle kind of made my card kind of look like a present, and it was very easy and allowed me to show off both sides of the paper, so we love that. But then if you just have a little extra time on your hands, you want to go a little crazy, bring out a 6x6 piece of designer series paper and create this more just a fun fold. I hope that you were inspired by today's Tuesday tip and that you enjoyed the cards today. Thank you guys so much for being here today. If you enjoyed the video, I would love a thumbs up on YouTube, and take a minute to click the great big red subscribe button so you'll be informed whenever I'm back with a new video. Have a fabulous day, everybody. I can't wait to stamp with you next time. Bye-bye.